Bonjour everyone, welcome to another diecast showcase. Today's video is going to be something I haven't done in a little bit. Basically, we're going to be doing episode 4 of my little best in pair series. So if you guys are new to the channel and haven't seen one of these videos before, it's been several months since I've updated one of these, and in a nutshell, it's literally just checking out pairs of casts that go really well together. Example right in front of you here being this year's, my favorite release this year of two main lines, two new castings that actually fit super well together, be it the automotive manufacturer, be it the livery, be it, not really the same era, but, almost the same era if we're talking about, about 10 years apart tops. It's the Dune Basher spec Nissan Patrol, as well as the Drift spec Maxima wagon. Quick example, I've already showcased these two as a pair anyways. We'll just give you an example what we're going to be delving into. This is mostly going to be premium. Some Hot Wheels, a couple M2s, a couple of Greenlight, and just basically castings that go really well together. Now, obviously, as opposed to castings that go really well together, I do like also to pair up castings that offer a really cool contrast one to the other. Here's one that I came up with that I find is really cool to compare. Basically, we've got the square body casts that are all the rage, still not as much as a couple of years back, but still pretty strong if we're talking about the number of people that actively collect these. I thought I'd pull two very opposite exemplars of the Hot Wheels square body cast. And these are the two that we'll be checking out right now. So we've got on the left the Boulevard release number 5. And on the right, we have the first color wave of the tuned version. And if you notice, they have pretty much the exact same paint scheme, although we're looking at two very, very different castings. So, it's kind of cool. You got on one side, in one packaging, the little tiny tuned version with the super stretched up top and very much shortened wheelbase, big engine popping out, side pipes, big roll bar with a few fog lights, and so basically a street truck. Whereas you got the big lifted version on the bottom from Boulevard in premium with the metal on metal, the rubber tires, the Real Riders, but pretty much the same scheme. We got a light metallic blue with the white stripe, the white middle portion of the body. It does match, and talk about two different takes on the same thing, from the same manufacturer nonetheless. So I thought that would be kind of cool to check out. It's a nice little contrast, and they do still go pretty well together. So first pair we're going to check out was that one. Check out some more Hot Wheels Premium. Second pair, I decided to pull out one of the fairly numerous cars I have in my Premium Fast and Furious collection. These are going to be two cars that are pretty similar, but a bit different decade, and they're movie cars driven by the same character. We're talking about these two bright red Chevys from Fast and Furious, both driven by Dom. We've got on one end the 60s Impala, and on the other side the 70 Chevelle. So if we look at them individually, got the 61 Impala bubble top here. Definitely nice stance, nice rake and everything like that. Got a little bit of a two-tone going on with the bright red and the silver. They've got the same wheels basically, both these casts. Chevelle does have non-staggered wheels, which is definitely unusual for Hot Wheels on a muscle car with this kind of stance. And we've got a staggered set on the 61 Impala, but that fits really well because, if you're making a custom rod street machine you know, staggered wheel setup is pretty common on these body styles and actually does look really, really good. So this specific one appeared in the, I believe, 4th or 5th opus. Well, yeah, no, it's the 4th one, I believe. Well, maybe not. It's the Fate of the Furious. I don't know which number that is. I mean, I lose track at a certain point. There's so many of these, so going on number 11 on the next release, which is eventually coming. So, but yeah, this is the car Dom was driving before he did that infamous race in Havana. And on this end, the Chevelle with black stripes and same color, kind of color setup. Basically, this is a car that was actually in the little short that was included post end credits in the first Fast and Furious when Dom actually escaped the law and you know, took that 10-second Supra to get away after the infamous ending drag race. So, two cool cars, slammed, red, Chevys, you know, they're made to go together pretty much. All right, so next pair we're going to look at is another pair of Hot Wheels Premiums. These two, I believe they were released a year apart. Let's see, no, actually same year of release. They were both licensed 2020, released 2021. We are looking at a pair of same liveried Volkswagens. The Deutschland design T1 Volkswagen panel van and the VW Mark 1 Caddy. So out of Boulevard. So pretty cool. Two completely different series, but exactly the same color scheme, same red color. Card art is completely different as well from one to the other, but these make a perfect pair. I mean, literally, you know, Slam T1, you can't go wrong. And, you know, obviously a Caddy on wide wheels with fender flares. Can't really go wrong either, especially with that little custom oil cooler on the front there. No, definitely this is a really favored casting of mine. Really do love that Caddy casting ever since I picked up the, I believe, first release in silver that has the front and back tampos. I've been a big fan. Got numerous variations of it, and this is the only one I believe I have in premium. May have been the first release in premium. I'm not even sure. You guys can chime in the comments if there's been a release of premium Caddy prior to this Boulevard variation that came out now 2 years ago, seemingly. Maybe 1 year ago. Maybe it was late to the shelves. I don't know. So both of these have the same copyright date. You know, the T1 and the Boulevard have a 2020 release date, as you can see here on the Boulevard and here on the Deutschland design. So, yeah, but very cool pair. Perfectly well together, and you know, two must-haves for diehard, be it Volkswagen or Porsche fans. So there you go. Really cool track support liveried vehicles. Last Hot Wheels Premium we're going to check out is actually not going to be compared with another Hot Wheels Premium. It's actually going to be in comparison with an M2 that is about in the same spec. And at the same time, since M2 is a true 1/64th scale, we'll be able to compare size-wise if Hot Wheels is really that much off if we're talking about scale. So the Hot Wheels that we're going to be checking out is the Fast 9 Fox Body Mustang hatch, driven by John Cena in Fast 9. And the M2 offset is this really cool Authentics Mustang GT release. And what I find really cool about this is that they've got pretty much the same color, although the Hot Wheels one is definitely more metallic if you compare both of them closer up. They both do have chrome wheels, but the M2 one is more stockish looking versus the Hot Wheels one that has the cowl hood. It has um, the 5 slot wheels. And obviously, well, the M2 has steelies instead of that, with kind of like a semi-drag setup, basically. Um, Definitely one of my favorite colors for the Mustang. Very close to a period color that was available at the time. If we talk about details, well, obviously on the get-go, no mirrors on the Hot Wheels. Um, Front and rear lights are tampoed in as opposed to being lensed on the M2. Um, Trim work is a little bit more intricate on the M2 versus the Hot Wheels, which is kind of normal. And at the end of the day, you got to think about this. These are similarly priced, eh? We're talking about the M2 being maybe, what, $2 to $3 more than the Hot Wheels Premium? So, I mean, it's all up to what people would actually favor in regards to what they're getting out of their hard-earned money being spent on diecast. Yeah, tempo works great on the Hot Wheels version. I mean, I got no complaints on my end. Looks really good. I did detail out a Fox Body Mustang for fun, just for practice. One of the ugly orange art car castings, just for fun to see what I could do with it. And super easy to detail out, since we're talking about very, you know, very squared out lines and all that good stuff. You know, we are talking about a car that came out in the late 70s, and this later version with the twin lights as opposed to the four eyes came out in 87. So this is a 92, and the so this would be the second to last year production. The production ending in 93, being replaced by the SN95, and the M2, as you can see, is a 1987 model. Not a whole lot of differences, honestly. I mean, what one difference that is definitely notable, the GT models of the Mustang did actually have, this is kind of hard to see because it is kind of small, but they did have the slatted rear lights, the GT model, whereas the LX50, as well as the Cobras, did have the non-slatted rear lights, which I personally prefer. And I mean, I'm guessing most people did, because they do look more high-end and much less retro, much less, you know, of the past, basically. So, scale-wise, I mean, pretty darn close, although the Hot Wheels version is just a smidgen longer than the M2. At least, if I look by eye. Another big thing that for me makes M2 the winner out of this comparison is the fact that the Hot Wheels unfortunately has staggered wheels, which, you know, I'm just not a fan of. I mean, the overall diameter of the wheels is staggered on both castings, but if you notice, the rear wheel on the Hot Wheels is, or actually I should say the rear rim on the Hot Wheels is larger diameter than the front rim, which I find is not the way to go on this type of car. You know, it works on older cars, as mentioned, like the 61 Impala we checked out before, but at the end of the day, the M2 also has larger diameter wheels in the back, but it's the tire that's thicker as opposed to the rim. So, said it before, and I'll probably say it again, but this is the way to do a staggered wheel setup. And Hot Wheels did used to do this and still does this with the Hot Ones wheels. So a dislike I have, though, on the Mustang, I mean, it could be a like or a dislike depending on your taste there, but to my personal taste, the clear front turn signals, they look cheap, like cheap aftermarket add-ons, which, you know, it's unfortunate, but I'm just not a big fan of it. So I don't know. I would have preferred the orange ones, which M2 as well as Greenlight has done on this casting. Well, it's different castings from one brand to the other, but they do have versions, regular versions, stocker versions that do have this. But all in all, this is definitely, if not my favorite Fox body, it's definitely up there. So I'm going to have to give the win to M2 on this one. You guys can chime in if you have different opinions or same opinion, all depending. Next up, I did show off this specific car on a previous Friday Finds video. Recent pickup, the weathered version of the Plymouth Roadrunner. In this case, as you can see, this is a Hemi version. I really, really, really wanted to pick up this car for one specific reason, is that the first release of this car in the first color wave, in the same color wave as the card art, I do have, and I really wanted to make a pair out of these because it kind of looks like a before and after. Although, first and foremost, the Hemi version, unrestored version on the left is a 68, whereas the Roadrunner on the right, the, I don't know, showroom or restored version, however you'd like to see it, is actually a 69. And secondly, if we're talking about engine, well, Hemi on the left and the 446 back on the right. So, yeah, not the same engine either, basically. So, but either way, same card art, and the cars, I mean, put together, unless you're really a stickler on details, they do look like a before and after. So, which I really do like. Reason also why I picked up the auto lift with the Torino GTs, because, you know, one restored and one not. Now, what I really love about M2, it's no secret, is the fact that with the same casting, they do have inserts for the front fascia. And with that characteristic, they are able to do several model years of the same body style, as you can see here, simply by changing the grille. You got the chrome grille on the bottom for the 68, whereas it is blacked out in the center for the 69. Rear is very, very similar, but you will see that there's a slight difference in the, well, you know, you've got the light surrounds that are not done on the unrestored version, but at the same time, that could just very well be that they did it intentionally to show as if the trim was missing. The rear bumpers are slightly different. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. You know, besides that, it's pretty much the same body style, so I find this is a really, really good pair. I'm really happy to complete this pair, basically. So, last pair we will be checking out to conclude this video will be a pair of cars that are of a brand that is well loved in the collector community, and also a livery that is very sought after in the collector community. So basically we will be checking out a pair of Greenlight Volkswagen Golf liveried vehicles from the Club VW series. So we have, as you can see on the left, the 75 T2 panel van, and on the right, the Bird Cup Spec 74 Golf. So both are really cool castings. The Hot Wheels tends to do a lot of T1 VW microbuses, and I do like the Type 2 a lot as well, even if it's not as classic and not as doesn't have as much character, I guess, in its styling. But I mean, you can't go wrong with this pair. I mean, you got the race car and the support van. We'll take a look at each a little bit closer. So I dug this out of storage basically just for this video because I really like the Golf livery itself. But this I find is really cool because there's more orange than blue, which is a nice contrast with the Golf that actually has a little bit more blue and a little bit less orange. So that's a nice contrast. I mean, even look cool when you put them one on top of the other here. I mean, it's kind of hard to do, but you know, you get the idea. I mean, these are very well done. I did actually open a different color variation of the golf casting not too long ago, but it was in a Kame version. You can backtrack a few videos and you can check that out if you want to see one of these in detail. You know, with the opening hood and you know, in all its proportion and glory. Um, so yeah, this is definitely something that goes together and it's super close as well in model year, which is interesting. Um, so yeah, those pretty much all the showcase for today. Hopefully you did enjoy checking out these pairs of castings with me. A little bit of muscle content, a little bit of V-dub content. You know, not no JDMs surprisingly for today, but I mean, you know, there'll be more in the future. No worries about that. You can bet that I'll be definitely cracking open and showcasing a whole bunch of JDM stuff in future episodes. But for today, it was a little bit of Euro with a lot of muscle cars from all big three, basically. So if you enjoyed, hit that like, comment your feedback, of course, and subscribe if you want to be updated of my weekly uploads. On that, I will wish you an excellent weekend. Enjoy, stay safe, happy hunting, all the best of luck in finding what you need, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.